welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I am sincerely, I'm sitting here wondering, holy cows, man. And I'm sure some of you tuning in too, you're like, holy cows, what is this guy doing back here again? Why doesn't he just walk away? Why doesn't he just quit? What's his problem, man? Recognizing some of those who've already gathered. Blessings to all of you who are here today. Sincerely, my love, and my inspiration is sincere. And with that, in advance, I want to thank all who may tune in and join today. My hope is you can receive some of my appreciation, some of my encouragement, take some of my faith. Take some of my love, carry that with you, man. Share that shit. Good stuff is meant to be shared, and I'm feeling good today. I really am. The topic is where I'm going to go with this. That it's titled "Ignore, Resent, or Rejoice," and I'll get into where that came from in a little bit. But the thumbnail, having some fun. It's true. In my life, my honest testimony, my experiences is true. Love is the answer. Behind me is the graphic of love in the background. Rest in the Lord. And I got some ideas on that today too. But it really is true. When we, not if, but when we put our differences aside and we come together as a human race, we win. Love wins every time. It's in the programming, in the design of this simulation of life, this experience we're sharing. Love is the key, man. And what I found for myself, the practice I found for myself, it's in the description too. If you can stop and think about the disagreements you find in life, if you look beyond the excuses and the blame, you can find the loving answer. The miracles and the blessings in life, they truly do happen when people can unite with love. Miracles happen. Miraculous healings, miraculous transformations. I've witnessed and I've experienced in my own and with others. Praise God. God is so amazing, man. Sincerely, surrender. Surrender within you, your mind, your heart, your body, everything. Surrender your will to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit of life that moves you. Now, you can choose what moves you. You can be moved from fear and anger out of habit. You can be moved by all sorts of things, but if you choose, and if by God's grace it's allowed, you can move with love. And that, when you move with love, and love is the only thing that moves you, well, then you're walking in the way, in the example, embodying the example of Christ Jesus. And man, it's so simple. It's so simple if you can believe it. It is. If you can believe things are hard, they're hard. If you can believe anything you want. That reminds me of a thought I was considering earlier. We live in this world of victims and oppressors. The egoic mind is literally insane. Insane is the norm of this world. And I used to live with the insane. I can only imagine how many people I might have driven insane. Because I know where I go, there seems to be a lot of confusion, man. Praise God. Praise God. And when I'm saying God, I'm talking about the God of gods, the one absolute. I'm talking about the Lord of lords. I'm talking about the one that is so powerful, that one God that is so powerful, so mystifying, so miraculous, so that everything can be done and experienced. That God reveals itself in every form. And with every form happening in every way, it's the universal unfoldment of what we are. It's so complicated, life and the universal expression of life that we're a part of. It's so complicated, so complex. You could literally spend lifetimes learning just what other people have learned, let alone what you might be able to discover for yourself if you set your mind into a new area of the world that hadn't been explored. It brings up memories as a kid. In my early years growing up, elementary, middle school, I received the benefit of moving a lot all around the US, 15 different schools by the time I was a sophomore. But it allowed me a pretty diverse exposure of different methods of education in the early years, and it exposed me to a lot of different people. And I remember thinking when I was a kid, when I was learning about science and learning about all the knowledge that was available to be learned, I was a little overwhelmed when I was young. And I was wondering, well, if everyone's been around all this time, what is there left to explore? Where can you look where others haven't? Holy cows, there's so many places to look where others haven't. But start within you, because nobody can look within you except you and God. And the God I know is love. Love is my Lord. My thoughts today: ignore, resent, or rejoice. This is the waking thought that I've been getting. And again, when I'm waking up with these ideas, I don't know if it's coming from a dream or if it's my ego telling me, reinforcing things that I want to remember. I don't know what it is, but it's not really with vision and it's not really with words, but it's I'm experiencing this. And I was thinking about it right before the stream. It's like coming in is all these variables of new, and I'm not alone in this experience, the waking experience, the dreaming experience. I'm not alone. I can sense there are others there, but I'm not really paying as much attention to them as I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm seeing all of the distractions of the new news, the new moments of life happening. I'm seeing it coming in on one side, and I'm gathering it as much as I can because people are watching what's coming in, but they're not understanding where it's going. So what I'm doing is I'm gathering what's happening and I'm showing to glorify, to unite. These aren't individual happenings that's happening in the world with the economic future and the war future and the conspiracies and all of this. It's all a lot of happenings, man. There's a lot of happenings in the world today, but let's shift our perspective rather to the from the individuals, from the details and the worries and the problems. And let's shift our focus to the everything that's happening, the unity of what is happening. And with the unity of what is happening, this time we are experiencing today, If we unify ourselves with today with a wholeness and a completion from the past, with a fullness of gratitude and appreciation for all the blessings we have, if we unite here today, we can rejoice on what the future is pointing to. The future is pointing to a new world. This world, but newly transformed. And how's it going to happen? It's happening with me, with you, and with all of those who we're going to influence from today forward, right? And we've influenced a lot of people in the past, but we have the option in life to ignore what's happening to us, to others. We can convince ourselves to live in states of denial, where grown men and women are living these fantasy lives where they think they're more important than others. We are here of the same source for the same purpose. We are here to be life as it is expressed. But the life we were born into, these societies, the culture, it's insane. Accept it. Accept that it is not. See, I view sane versus insane life. It's 50-50, right? You're either alive or dead, and you're either right or wrong. There's many varying degrees in between those things. But if you find the balance of what is real, we have truth or delusions. Now, I almost misspoke, because previously I was going to, my mind was first going is I view illogical. Well, I do stand by this. Illogical is not sane, okay? But sometimes love is not really logical until you really look into what the value is. It is, excuse me, it is illogical for me and you and other free men and women here in the Western world. It is illogical for us to go to bed each day without having tried. Okay, what I'm talking about is there's wars happening, there's profits being made, and there are orphans being created. And I find that to be pretty sickening in this world. Okay. And I don't ignore, you got to ignore some of the things, right? You got to let the things you can't control, you got to let them go. I understand that. And I don't resent anything that's happening. I don't. I trust, I place my faith in God, the ultimate source of creator, of whom I live to try to serve, the best I can. It's the only way we want to live. I'm telling you, honestly, authentically, gently, humbly. These are things I'm working on with myself. So please, as we become more gentle and kind with each other, we'll find we have a lot fewer enemies. And as you establish more connections with people, friendly relations, friendly connections, you find a network of opportunities that weren't available before. That's how we're designed. We're designed to cooperate with each other, human beings. This world is so dysfunctional, but praise God. God sent us to the world for this purpose, for this time, to be the blessings, right? To go hold the widows, to go support the children, the orphans. We're here to bring the blessings. And in my views, it's so obvious and it's so simple. Our entire world becomes safer when secrets are no longer legal. See, all of these enemies are really based on lies. So we've got men and women truly suffering and dying in the physical realm because of lies. People are fighting over lies. Well, speaking of, you know what? That brought me to my own real life adventure. Which I'm actually in a great mood, and for those who wish to join Jack with an open mind, an open heart today, my intention is to be more gentle. So for those who I have been rude with and I've kind of snapped at in the past, whoops, please forgive. Yeah, let me pin this. Today though, I spent much of my time earlier today regarding with thoughts on God, thoughts on love. And it brought me to a lot of biblical consideration. And with that, here's a hometown neighbor who I've never actually met. Welcome, Smith.
How you doing, Jack?
Dude, I'm feeling blessed. Truly blessed.
I am as well. I just want to touch on something that you talk about a lot about the present being a present. And there's no greater present than the gift of salvation offered to us.
Absolutely. Have you considered what salvation means or what it would look like?
Oh, go ahead.
It's something I've actually considered. Welcome, Stephen.
Hey, man. How are you, Jack? I'm feeling good today. I smoked a little weed, so I'm in a good mood. It's good to see you, man. It's good to be here today. I like the gentler Jack. I like this chill.
I'd love to hear Jack's no shade there, Stephen. I'd love to hear Jack's breakdown on salvation. I'm actually salivating to hear it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it was well timed. And Stephen, thank you for joining. I've often considered that maybe I've actually recommended it in some of my earlier videos. Tell people, you know what, smoke up, do what you got to do, open your mind and pay attention. Because here, salvation. We got another guest, and real briefly, when I did in my path of development, when I did finally start turning to the Bible and to spiritual conversations, I had to get the dictionary out. I couldn't remember what certain words actually meant. And, well, it's the path of knowing is to know. Salvation is an interesting term. Welcome, Tommy. How you doing?
Every day I come up and every day I come up and I have something for you. And today the title doesn't keep me from it, and you always do this shit.
Please elaborate. I'm not following you.
The Antichrist rhetoric bullshit. And you wait for me to get here to say it. But the first thing I gotta say, Jack, maybe I don't usually have technical difficulties. I still got a monitor that says you're live in 9 minutes, and I didn't pause anything. I don't know what's going on. I was in the chat saying you're late start, and you guys were already up here talking.
We're living in the future.
I've noticed YouTube does that sometimes. When you tune in, it won't actually start when the stream starts. I've noticed that myself. You got to refresh.
But with you guys, the two guys that are up here,
you got to refresh, man.
The opening credits and everything.
YouTube, man.
Tom, what's the topic right when you joined? We were getting into salvation. I asked the question, what might that mean? And I have my own.
You would, wouldn't you?
Well, what is your consideration? What do you think salvation means?
Jack, I thought we were both of the same cloth.
This guy's got
Can I
fire
just
tonight.
for one
Here.
show in 3 days I'll be live again. I can
He's
start
making
dropping
noise.
all the new things. Can I just give my thing I came to share with you just once before we
Please.
get into your bullshit?
Please share what
for
you
the whole
brought.
community. This is for the whole community. This level of synchronization I'm having right now in my own physical. Okay, so there's a guy around my neighborhood. I've seen him in passing 3 times. First time was when I saw the Starlink. And I was like, have you ever seen anything over that lake? I didn't know it was Starlink yet. 2 more times just in passing. Hey, you're that guy. Hey, yeah. Well, now that's the guy I go to because his dog's dying of cancer, and I'm watching him cope with the things I was coping with. He's asking me, what did you do in this, and what did you do? And we're watching his dog stumble around with a tumor on its side. It's very taxing on me. But the thing that really syncs it up with our community panelverse here is, you know what, he has a job doing some graphic design or something. He asked me last night, hey, man, when my dog passes, have you ever done train hopping?
Yeah, man.
Well,
So are you considering that now?
it just pulled the JG thing in.
Are you gonna go full hobo?
Well, I already was before this guy's dog situation was going on.
I got a story with a train hobo here in Spokane, but
Yeah, just stuck his dick for drugs.
nope.
I got a story with the train too. It's called the
How
Trump
do we
train.
classify? Isn't there a classification between hobo, tramp? There's like
Probably.
classes. It's like a Dungeons
Right.
and Dragons class of ruthless.
Yep, there's distinctions between the titles.
So what do I want to be?
Hey,
What
well,
should I shoot for? What type am I?
anything you want to be. I would simply be a wanderer. That might be
I
a
don't
good one.
wander. That's like lost. Not lost.
Okay. Are you sure
But
you're not lost?
is it a certain class that gets to have the stick with the handkerchief bag?
No,
I think
wasn't
that's
it the
the-
wasn't it the Israelis that had 40 years of spiritual wandering in the desert? But it was actually 38 years. It was 38 years.
Well,
38.
it's actually they'll fuck up until Jesus himself.
Who
returns.
cares?
Here,
38?
actually, Tom,
Yeah, who cares,
No, I
Steven?
care. Because Steven,
cares,
I've been
man?
meaning to ask you.
Hold on.
If
Okay.
I can finagle my understanding and word terminology to somehow relate the imperfections and the pains and challenges of this world to a realm of a type, do you think you could see yourself coming back to the Jesus play?
No, he will refuse it.
Hey,
Do I-
I'm trying a new trend of men speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I missed the last part of the question. Do I think I would what?
If I can relate the realm we're sharing to something word like of a realm of fiery brimstone, do you think you could find yourself back on Christ's team, Christ Corp?
On Christ's team, I don't think so. Man,
All right, we'll play with it.
I gotta sneeze. Sorry. You're sure. You're sure.
Hey, can I bring this back to Jack? We were talking about salvation.
Yeah,
I said I
I'd
was
like to get
salivating for it. That's
On
when your mouth's
Steven's
watering when you're waiting
side-
for something.
Hey,
Oh, numbers,
Tom,
things. On
Tom,
Steven's side, I can
Tom.
see.
Tom, please.
I was trying to find resolutions.
I've been polite, and here we can come back to Stephen because that was an interesting response from him. But
Oh, we were going to
tie it.
continue that, but you're being polite.
We can tie it back to the conversation because the
I
idea of
see.
Salivating, man. Smith.
the idea of salvation, it's when you break things down, they're really simple. And what does it mean to salvage or to it's
No.
in my mind, it's like saving. It's moving beyond a problem, overcoming a problem. The solutions bring salvation. Salvation from our past sinful ways is what was offered through the the story of Christ. And we truly, from experience, I don't care what any disagreements might be, if we don't humble ourselves to God,
Mhm.
the ego
I'm gonna go
within
see him
us,
today if we do this
the
again.
flesh, the beast, it will destroy us and others. It's self-sabotage.
I agree, Jack. Give me 30 seconds and I'll jump off here. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Pavlov's dog, he rang a bell and made his dog salivate. I just want to share that. I can break it down more thorough. I won't. Take care.
You can have my portion. I don't. People always want to share stuff like the poorly rolled joint,
Man,
the cake they didn't make. They love sharing that stuff.
You know what, Tom? I don't know what to do with you.
Tommy's
really don't.
trying. He's good
Maybe the
at heart.
problem
I don't
is
see that.
maybe the problem is you see it as we're all a task that you have to do a thing to. I know what you could do.
No, you're an interruption for what I am doing.
And what is
What I am here to do is to truly share some encouragement, some inspiration, some of my faith in God. So, Stephen, are you willing to have a conversation
Yes,
about
man.
Christ?
I'm on Team Talcott today. I'm sitting side by side with Jack, and I'm on board. Let's have a conversation about Christ and about wherever you want to take the show, man. I'm open to everything today. I got an open mind. I'm flying higher than a kite, and I'm feeling good. And I'm open-minded.
All right. I love that. That feeling of gratitude, that feeling of peace and just bliss, the chill.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Now realize, while there's a number of factors involved in you experiencing this experience of open and peace, you're having a taste. In my definition, when we experience bliss and pleasure, it is heavenly. And the heavenly experiences are ours to claim. So I went through my period. I was irresponsible in my past. When I got done with drinking, I was completely sober of anything. And then eventually, weed became legal here in Washington. And so I started smoking pot. But I was paying attention and consciously, whether it's an excuse or not, it was an effective aid for meditation. Because that, if you can bring your awareness onto that feeling of peace and openness, that is the meditative state that is available for us without the drugs. It's just a matter of training and understanding that goal. And so for those who are considering, have questions on the spiritual path, the path of enlightenment, what those things mean, it really is. It's the self-training, training your body to be still. Because it's in the stillness that we have this true consciousness. There's, regardless of our language or wherever we're at, there's a true awareness within us. And I consider that's the awareness of God that's within. And that awareness is aware of our thoughts, our feelings. It's aware of more than we know. So if you think of how things come from, think of where things come from. As I started doing that practice more and more, when you know everything that's involved to get something to you, Like even your choice to be here today, there's technology involved, there's all sorts of variables for this experience right here. And if you open your mind to what was required in the past, the choices of yourself and others, I get grateful. Because when we start looking at where things come from, you realize we're all from the same source. There's one source, there's one time, there is today. So why not love it?
I'm loving it right now. I'm feeling good today. It's sunny. I feel good. My head feels good. Mind feels good. So you're saying I could feel this high just with meditation? You could get to this stage or state? Wow.
Throw some breathing practices in there. It's actually, I mean, I don't know exactly what you're feeling, but I know I've heard other spiritual devotees
Was that
describe the level
Tommy?
of bliss.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. When I'm
That's
I'm feeling higher than heaven right now. I just feel like I'm on top of the world. I it's the best feeling, but it takes your mind off the evil shit and the suffering and all the darkness and stuff. So I feel good in the moment, you know.
Here's how to make it last. Do good. Take your good feelings, realize the abundance and the peace, the prosperity you are enjoying, and allow your mind to wander. Wander to someone else, maybe not so lucky. You know, maybe and these ideas you can be moved to give right any way. Sometimes it's just reaching out, saying hi to someone, reminding them, hey, you matter to me, and I appreciate that. So, what I encourage, if you want the good feelings to continue, do good, especially when you're feeling good, because
Yeah.
then you're more motivated to get stuff done. That's what I found. I may smoke pot, but it doesn't. I don't sit around and do nothing. I mean, I'm very productive in my days.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm gonna start doing good. I'm gonna start today and say I'm feeling good, man, like this character here that came up. But I'm gonna say to the chat room that I'm gonna do some good. Shout out, I love you, Tommy and Britt, whoever else is in the chat room. I got no hard feelings against you people here. You, I don't, Britt, I don't call you a cockroach. I call you a person. And crystal consciousness. I got some roaches in my ashtray, but I'm not calling you roaches, Britt. You're not a roach. Hello to the other Jack that's here. I'm not sure who that is, but don't judge me. Love to you as well. Love to everybody here, even Goblin.
hey, honestly, it feels better to love. There's always, we can always find reasons to be upset at ourselves, at the world, at each other. But honestly, life is tough. And we could all use encouragement at different times.
Yes,
And so, Stephen, I really do encourage you.
I'm
When you're
trying.
feeling good,
I am
think
trying. I'm trying.
think of ways to share good feelings, because when we do that, we get to reflect back on doing the good. It's really self-rewarding to be in service to others, and you can even have fun with it. Try to be a blessing to someone and not take credit. Don't even let them know it came from you, but just go do a random goodness for someone. Because
Yeah.
wouldn't that be cool if the whole world was that way, focused on trying to improve the life of the next person, whoever it might be? I really think that's how we're designed.
I do. I try, Jack. I try to do random acts of kindness sometimes, and I try, but it's usually with money because it's so easy to throw money around when you're wealthy. I mean, it's not that hard. So I'm going to try other ways to really show. I do love the people here. I love you all. I don't have anything against anybody here. So mad love to all these creatures here. It's good to see everybody here today.
It's, you could not hire a team of writers to come up with the character.
That's because nobody would get paid to write the imbecile shit you do. Did you just say go out and do random acts of anonymous kindness? Then how do you have your little who can do the best stuff competition?
No, man, I don't want to compete with you on that.
Oh, what's the matter? Why'd your daddy change his picture? Does he know I'm going to get him too?
Tommy, why do you think you're going to get everyone?
Because that's what I do. I hate liars.
Why?
He's a fiery soul. He's got fiery eyes.
Well,
that's
Tom,
fiery eyes of truth.
Hey, Tom, what if you didn't resent those people? What if you rejoice?
I don't resent people that are cool people. You're a piece of shit, Jack. The last time
I'm actually not, Tom. I'm actually not a piece of shit. I'm really not. No.
You are.
No.
You are. You are.
Tom, I'm an example. You're going to get to learn. You're going to get to admit you were wrong with me.
Right. Right.
You will. You're not going to get punished by me, but that's why it's a nice, safe lesson for you to learn.
I'm not going to get punished by you?
No, I'm not going to get you. For being a dick.
I am a dick.
Right.
That's what I came up to tell you. All this time, this panelverse has been trying to dictate how my life is because I come at you with my mouth.
No.
And now my God, Jesus, he was a warrior. And he does not give a fuck about people's feelings.
Oh,
he gives a fuck about where you spend it. Oh, don't try me on this, Jack. You're interrupting me.
Tom, you're using the Bible, that example, as an excuse.
Hit the button.
Are you saying Jesus was a dick? He doesn't care about feelings, man? Are you saying Jesus was not just loving hippie?
I was saying Jesus was kind. He wasn't nice.
He was kind, but yeah, he cared about the truth.
There was a lot of times he was talking to the apostles like, you won't stand on this. I know you won't achieve this.
Did he ever kick their asses though? Like, did they ever get stoned and Jesus be like, you dumb fucks?
Listen, God loves, like, you can be the worst sheep, and he loves the worst sheep the same as his most immaculate sheep. He loves us all.
Especially when they repent.
He doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, Jack, and he does give a fuck about you misrepresenting him.
Tom, let's pretend.
I've heard my name, Jack. That's all you got.
How do I get you to pause?
I always sit here and hear you, and you claim I'm over-talking you.
That didn't answer my question. Can we agree?
You're implying I need to pause.
Let's love each other.
Is there a way we can agree that if you're...
Not on your biblical
stuff. Tom, you're so challenging, man.
Jack, Christians are supposed to keep each other in line. That's how I know you ain't that.
Right, Tom.
Tommy's passionate about this.
Please receive some brotherly feedback, okay?
You ain't my brother, and I know how you treated your son.
I'm your neighbor.
Jack, your imagination is warped and confused right now.
Tom.
Jack, your imagination is warped and confused right now.
Tommy, Jack, let's all get along, brothers. And Paul is our sister, if he's here.
Yeah.
Or she.
Tom, respectfully, I took him out because I really don't want...
Oh, hey, Zach.
Welcome back, Zach. How are you?
You took out the guy that I actually just wanted to ask a question to.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, maybe I'll pose the question if he's out there listening and you can bring him back on. So, again, if you know anyone who speaks Greek, they will tell you that the New Testament in the English translation that we know as English speakers is incomplete because there's these concepts in English that are written in the original New Testament that just can't translate. It's lost in translation with English. And again, the other thing about the Bible is we know there's plenty of missing books. So it's not a complete text.
Yeah.
And
It's 66
again,
books, but it's not complete, right? It's
Say it again?
66 books, but it's not complete,
Catholic
right?
Bibles are 73. Protestant
Oh,
are
okay.
66.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, just for
What
the
are you
record,
getting
there's
at, man?
46 books in the Catholic Old Testament,
But
39
where are
in
you
the
going with
Protestant.
this, though, man? Where are you taking this?
Well, just the Illuminati guy is always judging, which is something you're not supposed to do as a Christian, but he's always judging Jack for his false interpretations of the Bible. And the point I'm making is, first of all, you're not supposed to judge. And second of all, if you really, really, really want to understand the New Testament, you should probably make the effort to learn Greek, and then you'll see how incomplete the English New Testament is. And that's also why I would say it's fickle to even debate about these things, because you're literally arguing over a book that's not correct.
Yep.
It's incomplete.
Well,
so the best you can really do from it is take what should be appreciated and understood.
The wisdom.
Also, I would look into this. I just learned something last night new. I'd heard this before, but then last night somebody was telling me about how in the book of Thomas, it has the missing part of Jesus's life from age 12 to 30 and how he studied as a Buddhist in India. So I actually looked this up more last night after I was introduced to this. And it turns out in the 80s, the BBC did an hour-long documentary on this part of Jesus' life where he traveled to India.
Missing years.
And,
Yes,
excuse me?
I saw it. The missing years. I did see that. I saw that, right?
You very well might have as well. But
Yeah.
It's interesting. If you want to look it up, the BBC has a documentary on this, and they talk about how the Templars went to great lengths to keep this hidden.
Mhm.
Part of Jesus
Holly
studying
likes
his boots.
BBC.
Well, it is fascinating. And one of the observations I've heard is that as a civilization develops, they also develop more of their past. And I have a theory, there's a lot of brilliant minds who have found a lot of some ancient discoveries, right? And in this world of chaos and oppression, though, we don't know. And what you said, Zach, there's a lot of mystery to the Bible. I even in my spiritual path, this is my testimony. It was the last place I went, but I am a man who believes in what was written, not everything literally and such, but there's so much wisdom in that book. The messages are what is important, and the story of Christ was important. Because the story of Christ, he walked the walk for common law.
On water, even. He walked on water.
Well,
they say the Buddha walked on water as well.
What? The Buddha,
for
too?
Illuminati, like what are you modeling as a Christian coming on here and attacking Jack each day? I'd just like to hear the answer to that.
Well, you wouldn't have me up on your bullshit show. And I finally got that fucking shit newsletter to quit coming to my inbox, you fucking drifter. You're only up here because Jack's daddy used to have
Tommy's
a fun
coming in hot.
pastime of putting it to you.
Brother Tommy.
Who
the fuck do you think you are, Zach?
I just asked
because no matter how many calculators you make or how many sporting events you associate with numbers, and I get it, I do gematria. It doesn't make your regurgitated YouTube bullshit any more valid. I'm judging Jack on the very real words we can go by, and not every book of the Bible was scripture. There are true, written, factual things out in the world that are not scripture.
Well, Tom, there's things happening.
And the Bible says we can judge. You stopped reading like Jack does. You stopped reading at that cherry pick. You just read that judge not unless you be judged.
Tom.
What's it say after that? Zach Hubbard?
Again, judge not unless you be judged is essentially not to judge.
and then keep going. The verse keeps going. It's not just
It does
love
keep going,
and judge
but
not.
again,
I
it's
know Jack
understood
wants
that
to say
Christians
this.
aren't supposed to sit here and judge others. I mean, it's
But
well
God
understood.
gave us judgment, right? We use it every day, Zach.
Right, but here's the thing. There is wisdom in those words. Just think about it. What
Yeah.
happens when we judge? We form an opinion. We form a conclusion. And once we form an opinion and a conclusion, our mind is closed. That's what's happened with Tommy and many others in regards to me.
But
They
Jack,
found an opinion.
Jack, I can only be on here for a minute because I have to hop off and do something else. But I was thinking about something. I was thinking about how we got reacquainted. It was when the day when Paul's feed showed up, or Paul's thing showed up in my feed. I tried to go in there, and then I think you sent me a text message because you still got my number and said, "Hey, you should come check out my channel."
Paul's here
Okay.
above you right now.
So anyway, I thought about this, Jack, because I realized what your whole channel is. Like, I'm pretty sure King Steven's just here to belittle you each day. He talks in this like condescending tone, like he's mocking you. I don't even know why you entertain it. But all these guys come over from Paul's channel. So that even this Tommy Illuminati guy is another troll from Paul's channel.
Zach, I'm not from Paul's channel.
Right. Please. I understand.
So what I'm saying is, what you need to do is network with some other channels and then maybe get some audience from there. Like, for example, maybe you should come on my channel and we can have a debate about what God is. And it doesn't need to be like
who's a bigger jerk off, grifter, shill.
We can just express our different
We
thoughts.
could debate on who's a bigger jerk off, grifter.
That's you, Paul. You win.
Again, hey, Paul, I'll keep giving you credit for what I like about you. You can keep being a hater.
No one cares, Zach.
Zach,
no one cares.
You're judging me
you destroyed
wrongly.
your reputation and credibility, and anything
No,
short of taking
Paul,
accountability for that and repenting and reforming is not going to bring you back from that. So just keep the
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
But what I'm saying is maybe come over on my channel. I have a lot of Christians who follow me who don't like the part that I'm not in the same boat with them spiritually. I mean, I'm not like on a totally different ship than Christians, but I don't really believe in the story. I believe in the golden rule and seeking truth. That's what I take from the spirituality and in my upbringing.
Zach, you attacked me for no reason. I'm not here. Like you're misjudging me.
Stephen, you and I can discuss it when he's done. Please be patient.
What I gather that he's mocking you. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I apologize, Stephen. But it sounds like you're like belittling him when you talk to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to associate with some other people because I realized that's what it's here. And then I started. I was like, okay, he found me through Paul's channel, so that's where he's associating. So he's pulling over the Paul audience, and that's why you have a bunch of Paul personalities here all the time. I get it. So you need some. Honestly, Jack, here's what I would do. Unless you like doing this every day with the people who just want to come on here and troll you, I would consider not even doing these open panels. Just come on and express your thoughts and really try to network with other people.
Zach's trying to tell you what to do.
Different crowd of participants.
Zach, you're right.
My advice.
Hey, it's well observed. And you know what? Admittedly, I noticed I hadn't tuned into yours for a while. And I saw you, I tuned in late. Was it yesterday or the day before? And so please, you know what? That is what I'm hoping for, is to step beyond this barrier of chaos that's found its way to oppose me.
Sure. I see that you're trying to do something, Jack, but I mean, these people are not here to help you progress your channel. They're here to, I don't know. I find it crazy that these people just want to mess with you every single day. But I also think that the gentleman who was on the other day with the accent was trying to tell you, like, why are you bringing these people on anymore? Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right, Jack.
Hey, Zach, no disagreement. Thank you, brother.
If you do have my number, I think that's how you got in contact with me. Send me a text and we'll set up a stream and we'll just talk about spirituality and we'll get some other people to come in and then we'll show where your channel is and maybe you can get some different people in here.
Love it, Zach.
I really would like to help you out. So
I appreciate it.
And by the way, Paul, since you're out there, I wouldn't mind if you came on my channel either and shared the good side of you and get some more people for your channel as well.
Help a brother.
That's the point, is you wouldn't mind if I came on and shared sides of me that you approve of, the same sides that you show to the audience, not the rest of you. So
you don't
I'm not
have
interested
to be
in
a dick. You don't have to
answer.
be a dick everywhere
I'm
you
answering
go,
based on my principles and value systems. You don't have any.
No, Paul. You're a confused man.
He is.
You see, Paul's an impossible person, and his audience is impossible too, Jack. They just want to be on, and I don't know what the purpose of it is.
Hey, This is my life, man. I love a challenge. I
Well,
love
you got yourself the impossible
facing.
challenger. So. All right. Anyway, I do got to go, Jack, but I just had to hop on again. I thought, why did these guys
no
just
hard
come on
feelings, brother.
It's the weekend. Don't you guys have anything better to do? I'm working my ass off here in the background. That's my excuse, but my God.
Yeah. Cheers, brother.
All right.
We're having
All right. Take
fun.
care, all. And if I was wrong about you, Steven, I apologize, but it really does seem like you're giving Jack a hard
You
time.
are wrong, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Sorry about that, then. I'll apologize
No.
when I'm wrong.
Thank you,
Can
Zach.
I say
Sure.
something, brother Jack? I partially agree with Zach, actually. Partially. Like I would say when he said about Paul's audience, the fanboys, Mr. E and Rodney and some of these people that come from Paul's and attack, I agree. You got to get rid of them too. I think it would improve your channel. When he said that, I was nodding my head going, yeah, that makes sense. He's speaking some truth. So I don't totally disagree with Zach.
I appreciate that. And I agree too, but what I said is honest. And I think Zach was right. I've not given up on Tommy and Paul and these others yet. I haven't given up on them. I have faith that they can learn how to communicate with me without trying to insult me and argue with me.
To be fair, I think Tommy has some wisdom. I don't think he's
Stephen Hope. Stephen Hope.
Okay.
Now, Jack, you and I both sat on Paul's panel 3 years ago, watching Paul watch the Zach Paul interaction. You're sitting up here just like it's another Aaron Gauchi saying, "You're right, Zach. I got to boot these fools." Jack, sorry, not sorry. You don't do a thing.
Tom, there's very little reason I should not just boot you.
I'll not be back, and I got lots of funny coming on your nothingness.
Great.
But show me what I need help with from you, Jack.
Your attitude.
No, my attitude's fine. I don't
your attitude sucks. Tom, your attitude sucks.
But you want a challenge, and you know what that challenge would be, is keeping me up here for a whole conversation.
No, the challenge is
why do you think they call it Mod God, Jack?
I'd like to see that, actually.
The challenge is on my patience. My patience has been tested.
And why is your patience thin? I ain't saying your mama jokes.
Tom, because your behavior is not healthy.
Poor behavior.
The patterns of argument and disagreement.
Cite them. If they're patterns, cite them.
You are constantly interrupting, and you present yourself as very disagreeable.
Oh, I do disagree with your antichrist biblical nothing.
Your definitions are no excuse for your behavior.
No, your deflection of that's your interpretation. It's not that complicated, Jack.
You're not listening. You're not understanding.
I bet you don't go to those churches and talk this stuff.
Tom,
I bet you don't go to those churches and talk this stuff.
Brothers, do you guys need a mediator? Do you need me to I'll help out if you need
Why? It. We're taking turns.
Please see what you can do.
What do you need? We're taking turns.
Well, Tommy, you answer the question then. Or you say your piece and then Jack. Do you think that Paul is the Antichrist?
That wasn't even on the table.
That wasn't.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got confused. You called Jack the Antichrist.
I bet you don't go to those 2, 3 churches and talk this Talcottian shit.
Actually, I go where I want. I say what I
let him answer.
Tommy,
let him answer. He's not.
And
he's
I treat people with respect.
Okay, do you remember when Lou Bass was up here and you kept dropping me because you didn't understand my point? When I say I bet you don't go to those 3 churches and talk this shit, I'm not saying your location changes. I bet your location doesn't change. I'm saying I know you don't go sit in a congregation and talk this apostate bullshit in a church.
Wait a second. How would you know that? Aren't you assuming? I gotta
because they let him come back.
I got to keep it 100 here, Tom. How would you know? You could.
Well, I said I bet.
Yeah, but you could say that Jack goes there to drink the holy water. Like, you don't know why he goes to
No,
these
I
churches.
said I bet, as in I'm confident without actually being there
you
that he
bet.
doesn't go
Tom,
say this
You're
shit.
How about
speculating.
this segue that you're so focused on is absolutely irrelevant.
What, that
Provides
you
no
misspeak the Bible
value,
and call
Tom.
yourself a Christian?
Tom, what we're doing is you imagine a scenario, you want to bet against
No, we've
me,
got it.
and you want me
Brother.
to defend myself against what you think. This is Tom. Here, I'm going to try this again. Tom, please.
I'm going to try
let him
again, and
finish,
I'm going to
Tom.
click.
Hold on. Let
I
Jack
don't
finish.
say Paul has to be a Christian. I don't say Stephen has to be a Christian. If someone is on YouTube calling themselves one,
Paul's evil,
they
though.
do
I'm
not
not
say
evil.
the things you say, Jack.
See,
Hey,
I'm
Tom.
not a Christian, but I'm not evil, Tommy.
I'm not evil.
Paul's evil.
Well,
Paul's not
you're,
necessarily evil.
you're
evil.
Tom.
Are you
you're
about
Tom.
to say I'm evil, Jack?
Paul's evil.
Tom.
Because I just watched you deny me and your daddy 3 times in front of the Zach
I don't
before
think
the Zach
Tom's evil.
rode twice. I tried to make it biblical, Paul. I tried.
Tommy, would you say that Paul's an evil antichrist chimp? Would that be
Stephen,
an accurate
let us
description?
listen. If you're not part of this community, Stephen,
I'm
I know
not.
you've watched this for 3 years. This goes back like 3 years.
No, I haven't watched for 3 years. Just a few months. A few months,
You watched
maybe.
longer than we knew you were, but not part of the community.
3
I
years,
guess.
not at all.
I always say I'm not part of the community I show up to every day. Anyway.
I'm not part of the community. I'm here to keep it in check.
Okay, then we don't care. Goblin. Hate on it. Goblin, why aren't you saying this shit?
Where is he? Who are you talking to? He's
in
not
the
here.
chat, texting zebras and.
Don't
He's
worry about the
desperate for
chat.
any
Let's bring it
kind
back
of
to
human
Jack.
contact. He gets so little, apparently.
Hey,
Welcome back.
thank you. I walked away for a moment. Stephen, I don't know if you noticed it.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's something you might be aware of.
Okay.
What I'm hoping to do with Tommy and others is help them bring awareness to their behavior so that we can resolve the patterns and find
I was
a way
trying to keep him in check, but it's hard.
Well, I understand, but one of the things where I saw you do is it appeared that you were trying to promote more division.
No.
Turning the topic from Tommy onto Paul, asking for Tommy's opinion of someone who's wasn't involved.
It was just a joke, though. It wasn't serious. It was just
he's got some subconscious resentments and
just a
jealousy
joke.
and envy with me,
No,
Jack.
it
It's
was
the
just a
ego,
joke.
as you know.
It was just a
It
joke.
is.
I think Paul.
Well,
Jack, to be fair, I think that I might look like a guy that bullied Paul when he was younger, and now he's upset because he got bullied.
Well, I actually never got bullied when I was younger, Stephen. I don't know why you're projecting that onto me.
No, I heard that you did. Go ahead.
Well,
sorry.
here,
I don't know who you could have heard that from. I mean, I've never said that. No one on here.
What I did, I think Paul did pick up on it, Stephen, and frankly, and again, I'm just pointing this out, trying to help you see what I see in your own ego. It's what Zach picked up too. That you have kind of today. I'm not trying to criticize or anything. And
Is
I
this
don't
in
want
the past or today? Are we in the moment?
Well, it's inclusive. It's inclusive because the totality of the experience
Jack, I'm
is what.
stoned. You're bringing me down, man. I just want to have a good time today. I'm just
right.
here trying to have a good time. But go on. Sorry.
The point is if you can see yourself, flaming division, even though it's fun, it may be pointing to an underlying reason, and the underlying reason is likely some resentment. But Paul's got a lot of people who resent him, I think.
No, I don't resent Paul or you, Jack. I'm here to have a good time, man. No resentment at all. I'm bringing love today, and I made a few jokes towards Paul and towards Tommy, but that's it. I mean, no resentment.
I'm not
have,
going to engage with you. I know that's what you want because you keep nipping at me, right? But I don't accept the premise
Well,
that you're
you can
even.
put up my eyes. That is engaging with me. You're kind of homosexual. You like looking at my eyes, Polly. So come on.
no,
Don't
No,
be
that
faggy.
wasn't. That was
Don't-
actually one of the
don't be
pigs
faggy.
that I have on the
Don't-
farm over
yeah.
here. That
Yeah.
was.
See,
Yeah,
he
that was
doesn't.
a.
He's nipping. He's a nippy. But let's
you're
love
interrupting, Stephen. You're
Yeah, you're
interrupting.
interrupting.
Paul.
That was one of the
or
pigs I
Jack.
have on the farm. That's one of my favorites. That's
a
the
lie.
eye of the.
That's a lie.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Anyway,
pig's eye.
Nah.
I don't always. Okay.
Yeah. It's got some
I
dark
didn't even-
circles around it, and it's beady like his, but it's one of the farm pigs, one of my favorite farm pigs.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Here, you know what? Each of us on our paths, especially those who found the way to start their own channels. Boy, we got some personalities and some characters.
You should laugh at my memes too, Jack. You shouldn't take yourself too seriously, man. You should just laugh at those memes, not get upset, not resent them. Laugh the way you do when people make fun of me. Just laugh at yourself. Lighten up a little bit, Jack. Just lighten up. Just lighten up.
Please. That advice is helpful for many.
It's healthy for you.
Jack, real quick, can I
Take
just
that
tiny chud? Can you please choose love and peace in the chat along with others? Can we stop with the
Polly?
with the
I don't hate you 'cause you're fat and ugly. I don't hate you.
Steven, please. That's you. Do you own a mirror?
I think somebody like
Let's
me
get back
bullied
to the
like
now.
you when you were growing up.
Let's get. I
in way
wasn't.
better
If I
shape
would have
than
been
you.
bullied, it wouldn't have been by a lisping, mincing, effeminate male. I mean,
I think you were bullied by someone like me.
I'm rather large
has
and
muscles, and you're
pretty
just
able
fat
to
and
hold my
flabby.
own.
You're
Steven,
just a big
please.
fatty.
Jack, can
All
you?
you do
I'm
is
going to
talk.
disengage, Jack. Can you please try to handle this cretin?
Get this creepy fag out of here.
Yeah, that's
right.
not right. That's you. If I was to say who's the creepiest fag on panel, press 1 for Steven. I'm thinking everyone would press 1, and I don't know why we have to demean homosexuals either. I mean, that's some kind of guilt he's got, some kind of projection there. I don't know what that is. Very disturbing, very bizarre. Oh, it's unanimous already. 1-1-1. I'm sorry, Jack, for taking over. I'm very rambunctious and egotistical and narcissistic. I love to hear myself talk compared to these other fools. You know
I know. Actually, you've been playing real nice today, and I appreciate it.
Thank you for noticing. I'm practicing here.
I noticed there was
this
jabs
is my
on
pit
you.
of love. It seems very dark and wet and scary, but I keep just saying pit of love, pit of love, pit of love. And that kind of mitigates the ickiness, right? So there you have it. I'm practicing just for you in the audience here, folks like Arpol, who I believe has my best interest in mind.
I think he does. I think many of us do. And Paul, I do enjoy hearing your voice too. But I don't know. I don't know the right path, and I don't want to spoil the mood or the energies. When we find a way to
copulate,
no, when we find a way to collaborate, I think.
Heyo.
I don't know why I did that, but welcome, Banana. Welcome, London. Good to see you. Brother.
That was rude of you. Jeez.
I know you've got lots of issues with me.
The very first thing you do is put me down. That's rude.
Right. Do you wonder why?
Do I wonder what
We'll see this.
Jack angry?
No, let's not. I mean, here, Banana, you wonder why I do things, or you just want to complain and make observations about what you don't like? Because that's what I've been experiencing, and I'm kind of done with it.
Oh, is that the end of that? All right. So what are you guys talking about?
You.
Oh, okay. What about me? What were you guys saying about me?
Jack, are you talking about when creepy fags were brought up like 5 minutes ago?
That's why I came. That's why I came here.
All right, well, there you have it.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. I don't know what this is.
There you
Whoa.
It's show time and it's showtime. It is good to see everyone here. Welcome to El Diablo Radio Internet, the greatest show in hell. And eventually that will mean something. It already does to me. There's meaning in it, but it will mean something.
An individual with multiple personalities can change their body chemistry with their thoughts.
Someone's coming for you.
Who's coming?
The beast. The beast. The beast. The beast.
I asked you to cooperate. You don't want to cooperate. You're devil inside.
Calls me the devil inside. Didn't In Excess have a song? The devil inside. The devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Remember that song? Am I just imagining things here? Yeah. You people pay attention to what I'm saying. The devil inside. The devil inside. Every single one of us, the devil inside. Remember that song? I wouldn't mess with me if I were you.
These people want to play these stupid fucking games.
The devil inside. The devil.
Steven, you're literally out of your mind.
Every single one of us, the devil inside. Hello, Snafu.
Mr. King, how are you, sir?
Yeah. Lit.
I'm great. Did you see Jeeps' comment?
Wait, why is Snafu Saddam Hussein? Saddam Hussein was way more commanding and powerful and threatening and like substantial.
Holy cows.
About how we just choose.
Oh, I did. I came to give you a little report. So the other day, as you were streaming, it was the King show on OTW and Paul.
Most people in this room are oblivious.
They pulled your video up, your pictures up. It was a shit show on Paul. But what was interesting is seeing
devil inside, devil inside, every single one of us, devil inside. You know, it's funny that a lot of black guys and Asian men just don't like white men, and they'll make up any excuse to try to bash them or say that we're not good looking or we're ugly or we're old and why are there women with them? They just can't take it. And yet a lot of them want white women, you know.
Only in America.
Your mother's so stupid that she goes into she tries to buy like bendy and stuff.
Megan, Heather, come on now, girls. Is this any way to speak to your party guests? Wow, Brittany and Tiffany Wilson. Haven't seen you since you were smaller.
Yeah, well, we're all grown up now.
Yeah, I can see that. Ladies, I fully expect to see you later at the white party.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be the best one ever.
We'll be there. Take care. Bye. Bye, Mr. B. Good seeing you.
Looks like Nigma is trying to join, but it says device is not connected. Try again, Nigma. Nigma, I believe. I might have difficulty trying to pronounce that one. It's okay, my nigga, or I mean Nigma. I almost called you on nigga. Nigga. I'm sorry. That just slipped out. Crazy. They're afraid to have me on. They kick me off. I was just saying my Negro. No, I'm teaching you something here. Gee, do you think they get riled up quickly? All I said was my Negro, and they get all anti-white and saying mustard stains and calling me ugly. I didn't call him ugly. I didn't call him a poor broke ass hood rat. I didn't call him anything. I was not disrespectful. You know, the great black writer James Baldwin used the term Negro. If it's good enough for black intellectuals, it's good enough for me. Are you saying that I'm boring and dull? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So.
Oh, my goodness.
Even your humor was supposed to be spicy, but it's just boring. Big nose, small hat, matzo ball. Okay, do you go on Asian panels and go like karate, ramen, soup?
No, I have gone on
chopsticks.
I have gone. To be fair, I have gone on Asian panels and said that I love ching chong food and stuff like that. I do kind of that humor.
And what's the response that you get?
Well, they think I'm racist, but I'm not racist. I love all people.
Ching chong food? That's not even like that's not even spicy.
Noodles.
Ching chong
Ben,
food.
yeah, Ben, do you remember Stephen Wright, the comedian?
Yes.
This is the worst. Doesn't this guy sound exactly like Stephen Wright?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Who's Stephen
Maybe that's
Wright?
what's going on.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was asleep 10 minutes ago. Give me a break. I was asleep 10 minutes
Give
ago.
us a break. Wake up first. Then go.
I'm trying
would
to
you
help
just
your
wake
show.
up and then go on a stage?
I'm trying to help your show here. I'm trying to add a bit of spice to it.
But there's no spice.
I brought a hot take here.
Going to an Asian restaurant and going like, I like ching chong food. Is that they would be like, I don't, like, do you want to order something? It's not like fun or spicy.
I know. I have
it's
done that.
stupid.
Ben. And then I make the
Ching
squinty
chong
eyes.
food is not even
Well,
like an insult.
No, I'm not. It's not insulting. I'm like ching chong, ching chong. I make squinty eyes. The little squinty eyes they have. And then I ask them if their vaginas are sideways. You've not heard this before?
Are you in second grade?
Yes, well, somewhat.
Jack, I might have to stop you here because this is entertainment based and it's very unchristian.
Well, I'm wondering
And that's
how
like
long
that's
does
like
it-
what Paul
how much
Enslaved and
longer?
other people do. Is like
Yeah,
unchristian entertainment
Well,
stuff.
I'm
This
actually
isn't very Talcottian.
It was funny
Pretty
for like the
lovely.
first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
well, admittedly, it is entertaining, but
Kind of
then I'm
disappointed
wondering-
actually. I
then
come
I'm
here for something
wondering-
different than what goes on
Then I'm
in my
wondering.
area.
Then I'm wondering, why are we here? I know
Right.
why I'm here.
Right.
I was curious about that too, Jack. Why are we here today?
You still haven't figured it out?
No, I didn't read the title. I can. It says ignore, resent,
Hand
or
banana.
rejoice.
What are the
Oh my
messages?
God.
Why do I have a channel and why do I do live streams each day? You've been a part of it.
You
Why
like
am I doing
to?
it?
You're trying to bring
Fellowship.
love. You're trying to bring love, Jack.
So what does that mean?
You're trying to bring love into people's lives.
What does that mean?
That's literally what it means.
And what would that result in?
Them having love in their lives, Jack.
Who's they?
I'm assuming the fucking people that watch the channel, Jack. I don't
Mhm.
know. Why am I getting berated with these weird questions?
Why are you making assumptions?
Me? Oh, so I guess I was wrong. I guess you're not here to spread love, Jack Talcott. I'm sorry I assumed that.
Well, actually, what I'm trying to get at, I know you and others want to treat me like a fucking joke.
Right.
But ending wars, that's kind of important to me. Ending wars and trying to bring some sanity to the corruption and the oppression that is murdering innocent people today. I actually take that kind of seriously, and I am a fun guy. I mean, I've been learning how to have more fun and growing in my faith in God. But seriously, when is enough?
Agreed. He who knows when enough is enough will always have enough.
Well, I've had enough of the disrespect and the disagreements and the mockery. I've had enough of it directed at me, and maybe that's why I was enjoying what I was seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious, Jack. I'm late to the show, and I'm sorry for just stomping in here an hour late. I just woke up. It's only 6 a.m. here in Beijing. So the Insanity Machine, Clown King, Stefan, and Team Evil, they've fallen, huh? His channel has been terminated by YouTube, I believe.
He plays these games, he hides it, claims
okay.
that I don't know what he's doing. I really don't give his channel, I don't give him much attention at all anymore, because I've heard how he talks about me.
And that's why I was speaking up, Jack. While it was mildly entertaining at first, it then becomes a forum to, as you know, give these people more time, energy, attention, and to empower them and embolden them to continue their nonsense.
Yeah, and that's what I was seeing. I mean, and
yeah, it's good to see, though. I mean, we need to examine what's going on because he vilifies a lot of people, and he's always behind the scenes launching attacks. And when you're in a lower state of mind and you're attracted to that kind of thing, and it really brings out the evil in people. And like with Jack's message of ending war, it's just a kind of negative static. It's like hanging out in the bathroom with your head in the toilet. It's not a fun thing to do. And so I don't know if his channel's gone or not. I mean, I don't wish that upon anyone. Termination's not necessarily the answer, because he would routinely expose himself as a very dark demonic entity and then lord this over other people. And the thing with me is just that it was the insincerity of it all. Like, I mean, it's one thing to have fun and play games and stuff, but when you're like really like genuinely malicious towards people, I find that kind of unacceptable. It's not cool.
Intentions are hard to determine, but you can certainly see patterns in people. And this is the world we live in. We live in a world where grown men and women don't have a greater purpose in their life, and so they find their self-importance by belittling and dehumanizing others. Makes them feel better about their lack of accomplishments. It's just common patterns of the society we live in. But here's the reality, guys. I mean, humbly, I know I get angry. I know I come across as arrogant, and I know the crazy shit I say, but this is my life. And if this is real life happening, then please trust that the words of Jesus are real, right? And the return of the Christ is with us. It is through us, all of us, not just the one.
I want to take the blame for that, Jack. I want to admit today here, and I want to take the blame that, I was a big part of making you do that. Like calling that out of you, my ego and my arrogance and my persecution and prosecution and, a host of other things put you in the position to have to react like that.
You've helped me grow. I've said this, Paul. I learned a lot about myself through trying to figure you out and others. I'm like, oh shit, I guess that's me. But this is the thing. I know I've been able to soften my rough edges. I have faith that others can as well. And truly, in my life, there's been patterns in my life, which I believe it's just part of my story, part of helping me become who I am. But if it's true, I think my destiny, my future career path is speaking, right? As a storyteller. Because I've learned a lot of things in my life, and many of them are, you don't run from problems. You don't run from challenges.
Jack, I, like you, have kind of fashioned myself to be sort of a life coach in my own way from the trailer, as you know.
Yep.
Is it possible maybe that we select one of these disgusting, grotesque, disempowered creatures like Queen Stephanie, for instance, and see if we can life coach him, meaning you, basically. I mean, if you'll allow me, I mean, I can put some input here and there, but I'm just saying, like, if you could get a result from such a lowly, disgusting, slovenly creature as him, sky's the limit. You could probably cement your reputation and legacy, and he could get like somewhat of a better life in existence, because it's looking pretty bleak for him.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough if it looks bleak or not, but I know the way he talks, he's not feeling that great inside. And Paul, admittedly, I've seen people like Snafu and Tommy, even their challenges. I hope to help. I do hope to help. But really, for anyone who's listening, sincerely, the path to self-improvement, it's very simple. Self-awareness. You start watching you, paying attention to you and how you feel and what you say and what you do. You start paying attention to you, and this is how it worked for me. Once I started paying attention to what I was actually doing, what I was actually thinking, what I was actually feeling, I didn't like what I found. So then I found a way to make myself more respectable to me, more lovable to me.
You know, I had a thought this morning that like this name just hit me because I was watching the biography of Terror, and it's like Jack Talcott. I'm not being insulting here. I'm just saying Jack Talcott's kind of like, okay, it's a good name for like westernized like
Right.
affect, but like a more worldly kind of name or brand, like, and specifically like Bukhar al-Baghdadi Khat. It's like it's actually it's more kind of new world, one world, even like sort of Middle Eastern, you know, because you're like more of a Taoist kind of Buddhist,
Yeah.
you know, almost kind of like Muslim without the terror. You know,
Right.
like you're like a love Muslim. Like I think there's two branches of Muslim, like terror ones and love ones. I think you're like the love one. People are terrorized by your loving Muslim Talcottian ways because they don't have love, they don't know it. But so even one man's loving person is another man's terrorist, which is the craziest thing ever.
There's a truth to that. I was thinking about that earlier. Well, yes, Paul, I am a love terrorist. In the eyes, I scare the shit out of people sometimes. I think that's why I relate to you, Paul, honestly, because we have a way about us.
Yeah, it's the perfect season for it too. It's Halloween. What are your thoughts on Halloween, Jack? Do you celebrate Halloween? I mean, do you guys have like a Halloween scene?
Me and Jack were having a moment there. My thoughts are you should make like a ghost and disappear and let us get back to our fucking merging event. Jack, I'm so sick of these people who want to get in between whatever we got going on.
Is that what you think I was doing? Okay.
I don't know. Kind of felt like that.
Let's
You seem like you were in your imagination, your ego. You weren't even really listening.
An Arabic.
Oh man.
No, I was listening. I was a little bit wary of the direction you were going with that. You know, trying to convince him to be a terrorist.
I wasn't trying to convince anyone of anything. See, this is what I mean. They're so jealous of our fucking chemistry. And magnetism. So I'm convincing him now because I'm sharing a moment and a sentiment. Hey, guess what? I'm going on my broadcast today and taking the al-Baghdadi Khat name as well. So you can say whatever you want. I'm fucking transcending and transforming at all times.
What does that entail? Let me ask you. Is your name Paul?
What do you mean? What does it entail? Jack, help this guy out. I don't know if I could do it today. He's got little to no imagination.
No, I'd like for you to.
I didn't see. That's the thing. You guys are always doing this in your ego. I never said love terrorist. He said that. I said he's a loving Muslim. Yeah. And then the other side is the terrorist. They're terrorized by his love because they don't understand it.
Yeah, I was the one who did that. Didn't mean to cause confusion.
Okay.
Hey, he's doing that in his imagination. You're not doing that.
it could have been an inner thing that he was seeing he said, seeing the direction of the conversation, wondering what the hell is going on here. Maybe a different topic is better. Because the energies, man, we're melding. We're
These people are so uncomfortable with love.
It's
as soon as they see us merging and loving, they try to deflect from it.
Painting you in a
I don't
bad
think
light, Jack.
Frank
I just
is.
thought he was painting you in a bad light.
No, I don't think Frank is he seems to come across as a very loving man. And but there is something, Paul, when you and I really start finding ways to unite, it's going to confuse the shit out of so many people. I can't wait.
It's already confusing me, but I kind of like it.
I know. This is what happens. I think this is another pattern with me. When I first meet people, I'm pretty gentle and, try to be unimposing. And so people, they appreciate me and they like me. But then I keep talking and they get pissed off at me. And then they want nothing to do with me. But they can't get me out of their heads.
Right.
So it's just like my own path of development. I thought I liked myself, and then I went through a period of hating myself. But now that I've gotten to know myself, I kind of love me. And I think people see me, they see themselves. I think I get treated, and Paul, you're one of them I thought about. I have a theory that you might be kind of cruel to yourself, because I think you may treat me how you do you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say I'm opinionated, or I have my own beliefs, or my own values, or my own principles, and I tend to accord myself to that, and I expect others to do the same because I believe that it's beneficial for everyone, right? So while I'm stringent with that, and I implore folks to attempt to practice with that and adhere to that, I don't get to decide at the end of the day what other people do and don't do. Obviously,
Correct. And this is what I realized too. When we care and when we know what is right or what's better, it's real easy for us to get unsettled when others aren't doing that. But there's something to be said about gentleness. And if anything, Paul, within yourself, I encourage you to have compassion, right? It's good to have our high expectations and standards, but compassion, being able to say, all right, you screwed up this time, or I don't know. What I've been learning though is our inner being, that personality of who we are that carries those values and principles. We can be our own worst enemy, or we can be our best friend. And truly, what I think the messages of the religions, the prophets, and the true teachers of spirituality, it's all about unity and oneness and togetherness. That's what the thumbnail was kind of about. I really do spend time imagining. Imagine if the whole world found a way to say, all right, past is the past. We've got our differences, but we can join together to win. And if we change the winning away from, profits and control, if we change the winning into prosperity, abundance, dude, we have the technology, we have the amazing people. We've got everything in the world we need to restore Eden and create a much, I won't say utopia because people get afraid of that, but what if we are God's children, in the in the greatest scope of time, in the infinite universe of space, we are newer evolutions of consciousness. We're like the children here on Earth who are, oh, we got this mind, man. And we can connect to the divine. And so if we are divinely created, children of God, as Jesus was, we are sent here to be the light in the world. Well, it makes sense. And if it's true, then we are the front runners of time, and humanity will be leading history into the future. And if the true messages are about love and unity, I'm telling you, I live alone and I am filled with love. I have a wholeness that I never knew was possible. Came down to a mental strategy, and every one of us can play this game, being mentally prepared to give everything away. Doesn't mean you go out actively search for ways to give everything, but if you keep in mind, I am prepared when the opportunities arise, when the idea and opportunities align. As long as we're willing to do what is right, when the opportunities come up, I think we will. I went on for a while. What do you guys think? Thoughts? I love you guys. I love life, man. And I never knew I could love life, especially without a fat bank account or, you know, parties and stuff like that. But I found myself on this spiritual path, and it wasn't entirely by choice. I didn't ask for my life to transform, but I am so grateful that it did. Because if it's true, what's true is true. And the world becomes safer when it's not run by selfish liars. So let's find a way, unite. Let's face the challenges together. Let's realize there's no one else to do this but us. But the more people we get involved, the more people who are willing to join us in this effort of confronting the selfish liars and the systems that protect them while oppressing the many. My mind keeps thinking about the future, a future of prosperity, of joy, of celebration all around the world, where we found a way to get over our ignorance. We found a way to together get over our resentments. And then together we can rejoice. Logically, it seems to make sense to me. But I don't know. I'm feeling like maybe this is an appropriate time to start wrapping up. You guys have thoughts or other ideas?
No, I just stopping by to say hi, Jack. Happy Halloween.
Blessings to you, brother. I appreciate that. I never did really answer that question.
I once bitten, twice shy. I didn't want to.
Here, you know what? Real
John, changing the conversation.
Real briefly, it's a tradition. I mean, where I'm at, I live in this beautiful community, and it's like in its own little separated community. It doesn't have a gate on it or anything, but it's a nice, safe neighborhood, and a lot of the families around decorate and stuff. And for a long time, I was the house that always gave away the full size. You know, I was the good house and used to do the decorations and stuff. These days, I shut the lights off and and the kids pass by. So I don't really.
Why can't Jack? Can you just go to the next level for everyone here, including me, and just really like you were enjoying it before, and then I kind of ruined it by pointing out what you've said in the past because we're all hypocritical at times. But can you just like at moments like that say what we all know or want you to say, that sometimes during Halloween, most times, most years nowadays, I just sit in the dark and masturbate while the children pass by, and and I hope to God that someone that I have hope that no one rings the bell, and I have hope that someone who I meant to love and be with forever rings the
There it
bell
is
and
there.
says
There it
trick
is
or
there.
treat. What do you have?
Slander, mock, besmirch his character. There it is.
No,
what are your
Wow,
thoughts
this guy
on
just
how?
doesn't stop, huh? This guy's
What,
like,
hey, fuck
I-
you, man. What are your
No,
thoughts on
please.
Halloween, Jack? What do you think about the season, like the harvest season? Do you enjoy it? Do you like the drying up of the plants and stuff, and the fall leaves, and the cool breeze through the trees?
I feel blessed. I mean, I do live in Pacific Northwest, where it is a distinct change of season. There's some beautiful orchards nearby, and I used to get into the fall festivals and enjoy what the community does. But these days, well, my path in life has allowed me to become kind of detached from and separated from the rest of the world. So I don't really practice much with that anymore.
Do you contemplate the sacrifice of Christ? You know how he gave himself on the cross and the Mount of Golgotha,
here we go.
and the sheaths passing away. I mean, it's a very deep story here in the transition of the seasons, and essentially, this is what it is.
Jack's living that, and you're like, this is the thing. This is why you guys like you are like, I'm sorry, Jack. I shouldn't even say
What do you
anything.
mean,
'cause
guys
it's
like
not
me?
my
What the
pla-
fuck are you talking about?
You just
Explain
cut
yourself.
me off. I was bonding again.
cutting you
I
off.
was making
You
a
want him
joke because it's
masturbating
something
in the
I'd
dark
say
to
about
children?
me,
That's
you know,
a
and
PDF file, man. That's not cool.
and then right
Wait,
away you
shouldn't
go,
say
hey, what
anything.
about Jesus? I'm culted out when Jack's living this fucking truth here. Like, hello.
Do you see the difference, Jack? I would never try to lead you in a path that would like publicly shame or expose you.
No,
But
you'll
this
just
guy's talking
bullshit
about
him
you
for months,
masturbating
weeks,
in the
and
dark
months
to
and years
children.
with your
I'm
with your
not
culted
bullshitting. I'm
nonsense.
talking about a genuine.
If Jack wants his
spiritual-
culted nonsense, he goes to church. He can get one of you hayseeds to give him this rap there. Get off his back, loser.
Please,
Trying
here.
to help you out, Jack.
I know you are, and I mean no disrespect, but I wanted to separate. I do think it's time to wrap up.
Well, you
Paul,
want to
thank
kill this guy and wrap him up? All right, let's get to it.
No. I'm gonna do
Got
some
old
final
Jack
words.
back. Remember
I'm
those
gonna-
days?
I'm gonna do some final words about you. I'm gonna talk about you as soon as you
All
leave.
right, throw me out and insult me. Fuck Paul Unslaved. He's an asshole.
I agree. But I won't use those words. Not today. Frank, thank you. I mean no disrespect. Sincerely, thank you for joining. I do admire and appreciate your conversations and where you were going with it. I even understand the observations. What I've been practicing learning to do is to accept that life is the way that it is. Others are how they are. I am how I am. Now, who I am and how I am, that's where my focus is. Because I encourage you to practice this in yourself, realizing your true one responsibility is nurturing, growing, and sharing the I am that you are. Because God has delegated authority of us. God's delegated authority of you. You get to direct your mind, your emotions, your body. You get to direct it unless you give your power away. And when we give our power away, it's part of the ego design. The prideful, they'll fight for power. The insecure will find no power. But there's a balance. There's a balance with the strength that's within you, the Holy Spirit of life. It is true. It is true. At least from my perspective and my experience, you might be different, but how would you know unless you try? That's what I thought for myself. How would I know something unless I actually try and experience that thing that I want and wonder? I wondered about growing in my personal relationship with God, with the divine, with the Most High, with the Holy of Holies. There's many paths to reach the one, but the true path is humbling the one within you. Because when we humble ourselves, being willing to give our worries, give our problems away, give our hates, our battles, surrender those ugly things so that we can rejoice and fill ourselves with appreciation and gratitude. Because I'm going to wrap it up here. Love really is the answer. Don't ignore love. Don't resent love. And if you can consider other people, while they do carry their darkness and their bitterness, they are vessels of love, as are you. So if you can rejoice in the love that you can discover, you can grow in the love that you share. And as we grow in sharing love, that's what life is all about. So start your life. Live your life with love, intention for love, joy of love, appreciation of love. And you know what? We'll see what the future brings. For those who haven't yet, please do subscribe, maybe even tell someone else about the Talcottian adventure. And let's see what the future brings to us all. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Peace.